The court has spoken today that it cares more about pre-life in the womb than the lives of those innocent children in the tomb, taking away the rights of the rightful that it would so readily give to those who bear rifles, claiming to uphold freedom and liberty. Where are your calls for freedom and liberty now? Where were your calls for life in the massacre of Uvalde? Instead, silence when questioned about the lives of those children taken away, shattered by senseless violence. When if you truly cared for life, you'd stop their death. It all depends on whose lives, whose rights are at stake to take. Part of keeping so many communities broken, shattered, shackled, artificially suppressed. Asking them to rise while we stand on their necks. Preaching pro-life while you stand for death. Preaching liberty while you take away the freedom of half of a society. The sheer hypocrisy on full display for all to see, claiming powerlessness to act to change things on gun violence when finding no problem exercising power where you should have none over our bodies, our lives. It was never about these things of life and liberty, but about using and abusing life and liberty to take control over the lives and liberties of others, of women, of minorities, of women of color who suffer disproportionately, subjugating them perpetually to have to fight for their right to health. A slavery ended, yet enduring dangerously, clad in the mantles of the law. Its danger in its insidiousness, in using the law to break the law, in using religion and God to play gods on earth like demagogues, to exercise power over others' lives, to baptize their lies and break the rungs of the ladders of democracy on which they rise, so others are shut out of the chances, the opportunities to reach, their potential to realize. Preaching justice in the very breath that they advance injustice and death. In America today, the gun seems to have greater rights over our children who have none. The right to bear arms taking precedence over the right of our children to live in freedom from fear of harm. Acting like we are at constant war where there is peace. In our schools and in our classrooms, their solution to gun violence, more guns. In America today, we'd criminalize the victim more harshly than the crime. In this obsession with the act of birth, ready to take life, putting greater restrictions on those women who make informed decisions when faced with impossible positions of rape, of incest, of cancer, of poverty, and life-threatening conditions than on those who make rogue decisions to take to arms, to take the lives of our children at the heart of our epidemic of death. In America today, more than 100 years after slavery, we fight 100,000 slaveries insidious, in systemic racism, in the tragedies of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, in the daily assault on people's lives and people's rights, in systems that proclaim justice while they perpetuate prejudice, injustice masquerading as the law. In the land of liberty, a small minority can take away the equal right of half of a society and call it democracy, making mockery of democracy and the law. Setting the country back 100 years of progress on this and on so much of equity and justice beyond this, part of a much broader and dangerous attack on historic rights, hard fought and won. First Roe v. Wade, then Plessy versus Ferguson, the lives and freedoms of so many millions they threaten. To every person with power over this decision, I say, how are you not at war with your conscience? The real sacrilege in the so many senseless deaths of innocents you sanction in your inaction, confusing God and life for guns and knives, making of violence a religion. What will it take? How many more deaths to wake your conscience to what common sense, humanity, and morality would tell you is the right thing to do? When will lobbies and special interests matter less than the lives of your own children? When will murderers have more restrictions placed on them than on our mothers? And when Will your love of country and your so-called patriotism take precedence over your love of self and of power? Ignited, we will fight it, we will rise and galvanize, and we will not stop until we wake your dead conscience into life.